Hey guys, Aaron Cybertron Zeng here, and today I'm back with another episode of Road to Ranked, where I climb the online VGC 18 ladder and provide live commentary as I go. If you haven't seen the last episode, I highly recommend it. It was crazy fun and overall just a blast, but as I mentioned, I also had some updates in that video, so I'm not using the brand new team that I wanted to feature just yet, just because I've not finished it in-game, and at the time this video goes up, I'll be on a flight to Hong Kong, where I'll be spending like around a week and a half just for vacation and hanging out with college friends. And like I mentioned, should have some downtime while I'm there, so ideally I'll be able to record and keep you guys updated with daily episodes, just because, like, out of, like, the 10 or so days I'm there, I'll probably have one day where I just kind of want to stay back and chill. And so during that day, hopefully I'll be able to record a couple of episodes. I keep you guys updated. If you don't follow me on social media, definitely give me follows. It's all on the overlay here. Cybertron VGC on Twitter, Facebook, KickAdAZ on Instagram. And so, yeah, if you guys want to stay updated, that's the best way. But yeah, I'm using this rain QR code team just because my next team does have a small rain component to it, so I want to get a little bit more used to it. And I think rain is just a really fun archetype. This team is really fun because it's like very hard dedicated rain. So we're going to get into this one. As always, if you guys enjoy Road to Rank, please share your support by leaving a like in the video. I'd appreciate it. And you can check out this team yourself with the QR code in the description below. Also, I uploaded everything for the last team on Road to Ranked, the Hydreigon Naganadel team. So check that out as well. It's all in the description below, at least it should be. So Gengar, Landorus, Bulu, another Bulu, Incineroar, the Kommo, and the Aegislash. So this screams like a game where rain can really just blow through. So I'm definitely leading Pelipper, Ludicolo. Kind of want to just go Swampert Kingdra here. I want to bring Ferrothorn so badly though, because we saw Ferrothorn in the last couple of episodes, and you guys know how good Ferrothorn can be. It's so tempting, honestly. Dang, it really is. What would I give up for it? I'd probably give up the Swampert. But what the heck, rain is so good here. I don't know, you could make a very legitimate case for Ferrothorn here in this matchup as well. I kind of wanted to bring it just for the novelty, because if you haven't seen the last episode, like, guys, I'm begging you to watch it, because Choice Band Ferrothorn was like, I want to prove my worth, that it certainly did. But I feel like Pert here is just really good, especially because my opponent does have the Aegislash as well. So we're going to get into this one. And there's the Bulu. So maybe I should have brought out my Ferrothorn for the third time in a row. Yeah, it's like I'm just trying to record a couple of episodes in a row right now, and so this is right after the last one. But we see the Bulu in the Incineroar. Bulu's terrain goes up first, so we know that's faster as well, which could be a concern. That's actually really bad. Maybe that's actually not so bad. I can just switch out immediately into Kingdra and fake out Bulu. Yeah, I like that. Basically, Incineroar, like, what are you gonna do, right? Actually, you can knock me off. But you'd imagine you have to fake out the Pelipper right now. Like, I can't see a fake out not going to Pelipper. If my opponent, it could protect from Bulu here, but actually, if you're protecting Bulu, maybe you don't fake me out. Oh, it's just a double protect. Okay, perfectly fine with me. Also means it's not Assault Vest Incineroar, which is interesting. So what this means is now I can double Ice Beam into the Bulu. Question is whether I want to do that or not. I think so. It's enough of a threat that I want to get it out of the way for my Pelipper and my Swampert. So I will double Ice Beam here. Incineroar now could be Z-moved. I still would not expect Incineroar to have a Z-move, because I'd expect Bulu or Aegislash to carry it. But I don't know what item it wants to run if it's not Assault Vested. We see AV Incineroar so commonly. Nice. That's so good. Okay. So Aegislash switches in. That's fine. Is Bulu staying? Yes. Nice. So I think the double Ice Beam here should get the knockout. Yeah, especially because I don't put it in barrier range. Perfect. So my goal this game was to knock out this Bulu, just because, one, I know it's faster than the Pelipper, so it can deny me Tailwind, but two, it's also an immense threat to my Swampert. Actually, to my whole team, especially under Grassy Terrain. It can one-shot everything with Wood Hammer. So I wanted to get that knockout. But here's the Kommo-Oh coming in. Okay. Shiny Kommo-Oh's so freaking ugly, man. So actually, I forgot about Kommo-Oh. That should be the one with the Z move. I mean, I could just double Ice Beam into it right now. It probably protects, but, like, do I want to play risky? I guess the safest play for me is, like, Z-move Aegislash. Like, if I'm my opponent here, I protect the Kommo-Oh, right? And Shadow Ball. But I'm also thinking, I'm kind of behind right now, so maybe I need to make a big play and just go for the Z-move. So, you know what? I'm just going to double Ice Beam into Kommo because Aegis Slash right now shouldn't be able to do too much. If it's Z-move, that means Kommo can't Z-move. And Kommo does protect, so that's kind of what we all expected, but like Aegis Slash at worst gets a Z Shadow Ball off. That actually shouldn't even knock out Ludicolo. So I was so close to doubling up on Aegis Slash and making a really hard read. Would make me look really cool, but it's not worth making flashy plays right now when I know if I play safe, I should win this game. So, yep, Shadow goes into Kingdra. Does not knock me out, and I actually heal from the grassy terrain as well. So now I actually do have an important question. Actually, I have a pretty safe play here of Z-moving into Kommo and Ice Beaming. Because that basically covers the Incineroar switching as well. It's the one thing I'm concerned about. I alternately could have Z-moved Aegis Slash, but Kommo is basically the bigger threat because I've got full rain in the back. And Kommo, if it gets the Z-move off, is really bad. So with this play, I think my opponent might want to consider switching into Incineroar to take the double Ice Beam potentially. If you stay in with Kommo, then you get knocked out and you're stuck with Aegis Slash and Incineroar against Rain, which is obviously pretty good for me. So I feel like I'm in a pretty good spot right now. The only downside is my opponent goes for the double and gets it, and Aegis Slash doesn't King Shield, and Kommo does switch out, which is perfectly fine. So that's why I Z-moved into the slot, because I'm saying, okay, if you stay in, I'll knock you out with the Z-move and the Ice Beam. If you switch out, I knock out Incineroar, deny you of the Z-move, and impressively enough, the Aegis Slash does not protect, or sorry, King Shield. So it's probably just going for another Shadow Ball here into the Kingdra, but that's fine. So I'll get the knockout here, and then I'll get my switch into Swampert. And my opponent doesn't really have that much leverage against me right now. Shadow Ball, I might even be able to hang on from, just because I did get that little bit of extra recovery. And the Z-move here does cleanly knock out the Incineroar. So, yep, kind of overkill there, but I felt like that made the most sense. Let's see how much Ice Beam does against Aegis Slash. 25, a little bit less. There's a Shadow Ball. Actually targets Ludicolo, what? I really don't agree with that play. Just because you're allowing me to heal back now, and now I'll survive even another onslaught of Shadow Balls. So I can just keep double Ice Beaming into Kommo, and that should guarantee me the win. I mean, it's already difficult enough for my opponent to come back, but I was thinking if you Shadow Ball, you knock out Kingdra, then maybe I'm in a more awkward position, because if I bring in Pert, actually, I would probably just Waterfall Ice Beam the Kommo. So, yeah. This is why you also see how, like, the Damp Rock comes into play with this team. It just allows you to stay on the field for so freaking long, like the rain, which is really, really nice. You can really take advantage of that. So let's see. I mean, my opponent brings the Kommo back in, but Shadow Ball will not knock out either of my Pokemon now because I've been healing from the grassy terrain. Still got a couple turns of rain, and I've still got Swampert waiting in the back. I just need to make sure this Kommo does not get set up. So the safest play is still to just barrage it with Ice Beams, and I still got 4 turns of rain, so I think I will just double Ice Beam here. And I'm saying if you don't get the double protect, my opponent needs like a lot of protects right now, and like basically if my opponent risks going for the Z move at any point with Kommo, I win, which is why I'm going to play it safe right now. I see no reason to risk it when I'm up 4-2. Like once again, I could be flashy. Like these are the plays my opponent has to make, but I'm basically forcing the protect out right now, saying okay, you basically need to get like 3 or 4 protects in a row because I'm going to just keep doubling up into that slot. Yeah, and you see why, like, Shadow Balling Ludi gives me an advantage now, because I hang on with the Ludicolo and the Kingdra now. So, yeah, I could have Muddy Watered, could have Scalded into the Aegis Slash slot, but I don't see any reason to do that when, once again, Kommo is the biggest threat. And my opponent, you know, might have been like, oh, I want to stall out the rain, but I do have the Damp Rock, and so there is no way for my opponent to stall it out right now. So I'm just going to keep doubling up into Kommo. And if you're my opponent, you might be thinking, like, sometimes if you're in my opponent's shoes, you have to think, okay, I need to hope for my opponent to throw, or I have to get extremely lucky with multiple protects. And from my position, I'll take the odds where it's like you need to get at least like 3 or 4, or my opponent basically needs, I think, 4 protects in a row right now. Obviously, the odds of that are astronomically or small. And I'd rather play those odds than say I'm going to gamble a little bit and assume that your Kommo is going to go for the protect and Aegis Slash is going to attack. Because let's say I like attack the Aegis Slash and Kommo actually gets the Z move off. Like that's the one way I could throw the game right now. So I'm just going to continuously target the Kommo slot. It does make it a little bit more interesting by getting another protect off, but that's fine. So Ice Beam's going to go into it. Yep. And Aegis Slash does get the Shadow Ball off. So I'm going to say goodbye to Kingdra. I've got 2 turns of rain left though, and now I can just bring in Mega Pert. And I'm Assault Vested, so I'll survive easily. So I actually could go for an Earthquake here, but if I EQ and the Kommo gets the Z move off, that could be kind of ugly. Because Aegislash could wide guard. So I'm just going to Waterfall and Ice Beam, because that should do enough to knock it out anyway. So, like I said, my opponent needs 4 protects in a row. Even with 4, I'm not sure my opponent can win. I know Aegislash is not a threat to me. Like, I can 2v1 Aegislash any day, so I'm just going to keep targeting the Kommo slot. And there's the King Shield from Aegislash. Yep, nice. So, finally, I mean, I knew my win condition here was just to keep targeting Kommo. I'm, like, almost 100% confident Ice Beam plus Waterfall should knock it out. If not, I'm going to quit VGC. Well, it's kind of close. I'm cutting it close. That should knock out, right? I guess I have to quit VGC now. Wow, it actually hung on. Dang, that's crazy. I mean, even if it hung on though, like I wasn't too concerned because I'm gonna explain my so obviously I got the flinch, which was pretty unfortunate. Maybe I should have superpowered instead. I'm gonna just I guess I can EQ now. Yeah. And Ice Beam. But I do want to explain that because my opponent did, like, I was assuming Waterfall and Ice Beam was 100% knockout, and that actually wasn't. So that was kind of a bad oversight on my end. I guess I have to stay true to my word and quit VGC now. I'm really shocked. I did not think Kommo could survive that combination of attacks. But basically, like, the Z move wouldn't knock out either of my Pokemon. So what that means is, as I EQ the E, yeah. So Aegislash is just going to Shadow Ball now. But basically, like, even if Kommo gets the Z move off, like, I was thinking it could maybe survive there, but even if it does, you get the Z move off, you don't knock out either of my Pokemon, and then I still have, basically, I protect Swampert as the last turn of Rain expires, which would have been this turn. So I would protect Swampert as you knock out Ludicolo the next turn, and then I get the switch into my Pelipper. There actually was a special defense drop, so I might actually need to switch into Pelipper right now. Actually, I'll just protect Pert here. I mean, and Ice Beam the Kommo. Yeah, because even if you get the Z move off, I switch into Pelipper. But I think I had this game pretty much locked up anyway. The flinch obviously made it a little bit easier. Special defense drop actually makes this so that the Kommo actually does finally get the Z move off. But then I'll just switch into Pelipper, get the rain up, and then I'll be able to outspeed it at +2 with Swampert. So, yeah, like, I think this endgame basically plays out the same way it would have had my opponent gotten the Z move off initially with Kommo. Because you wouldn't have knocked out Ludi, and I wouldn't have taken the extra damage from Shadow Ball. Does that make sense? I think it should. But, yeah, you guys gotta get me to quit VGC now, because I said I would if Kommo survived, and I really didn't think it would. You know what, we get to see the really cool Z move animation, so I'm fine with that. So it does the little bit of extra damage through the Protect, gets all the boosts, but I just bring in Pelipper now, and Swampert outspeeds anyway. And the Pelipper should be faster than Aegislash. Yeah, so I played, like, extremely safe this game, but I saw no reason not to, because I figured even if Kommo survived, I'd still win the game, guaranteed. But that got a little bit scary, honestly, because I wasn't actually in that position. So maybe I overcalculated a little bit too much. And I really thought the double whoop guaranteed would knock out the Kommo, like, but this Ludi, I don't remember its exact investment, so I'm just gonna Waterfall and Hurricane. Yeah, don't want to Surf, have to worry about Wide Guard. Yeah, Swampert's faster. So that's what I was going for, basically stalling out the rain so I'd get the rain up again with perfect timing. So Kommo feints, Hurricane knocks out, and that ends up being a lot longer than it really should be because I was up 4-2, and that flinch actually obviously made things a little bit more difficult for my opponent. But like I mentioned, we saw how low the Kommo was. Yeah. So Kommo was really low, and what would have happened? Actually, I guess Aegislash would have been at full HP, so maybe, I don't know. It would have gotten the Z move off, I would have protected Swampert, you would knock out my Ludicolo, I'd get the free switch it into Pelipper. Maybe I should have played a little bit more aggressively. Honestly, I played this game banking off the fact that a double up guaranteed would knock out the Kommo, and it didn't. So that was bad. I also went for Waterfall. Maybe I should have just superpowered. Wait, I'm trying to think what would have done more damage. I also could have EQ'd, but I was worried about Wide Guard. So I played the end game when I brought in Swampert kind of poorly, actually. So, yeah, that wasn't very good play, because My opponent, like, did have a window of opportunity to get back into the game, but I'll analyze this after I play this game. So Charizard, Lando, Coco, Feeny, P2, Ferrothorn. This is a very interesting matchup because I can't obviously just set up Rain freely. And I could turn 1. What? Porygon is terrifying. I think my opponent probably leads Charizard. Although, maybe this is actually a game for Thundurus. It's Fightinium Z Thundurus with Rain Dance and Thunderbolt. It's not Thunder. I actually want to go for Thundurus here. It seems so good. I can fight Z Porygon, the Ferrothorn. I can T-Bolt, Feeny, Charizard. Yeah, it seems really good not to bring, to be honest. So I'll bring Thundurus and Pert. Yeah, I like that. Thundurus, Pert. This is tough because I really want Ferrothorn to knock off the Porygon because I don't have a great Porygon matchup here. I mean, Ludi is so good, though. Oof. I feel like I should still bring Pelipper even though I have Manual Rain. Just so I have the option to switch at any point. Kingdra is kind of tempting too. I probably shouldn't bring Kingdra. So it's between Ludi and Ferrothorn. You know what, man? Ferrothorn has been making a name for itself. I'm going to give it another opportunity to prove itself because it has been doing an awesome job. Not sure that's the logic you should use in tournaments, but it's Road to Ranked. Let's have some fun. It's also like, what time is it right now? It is 2:30 in the morning, but I'm trying to stay up as long as I can so I get adjusted to Hong Kong time. So I was like, might as well take this time to record a little bit just because I missed out on episodes and I really want to be a little bit more consistent just because I have a lot of things, like I mentioned, planned for 2018 and it's just really fun playing a new format. But Charizard, Ferrothorn. Okay, so I've got the Fight Z. Oh man, the other question is though, what does Charizard do? What I want to do is fight Z Ferrothorn and freaking protect Swampert. I'm gonna do that. Ideally, Charizard Mega Evolves. Ah, why you gotta play me like that? Oh man, I thought I'd really get a Fight Z off against Charizard Mega Evolves. Could have Rain Dance turn 1. Why did I protect Rain Dance? That would have been better, I think. I was just really hoping Ferrothorn would stay in, but in retrospect, there's not that much reason to. Man, Charizard playing a little ballsy too, just attacking. I wonder if my opponent recognizes this team. Like, the thing with QR code teams are also, like, you're obviously at a disadvantage because your opponent could just look up the team at any point. But, I think in retrospect, Protect Rain Dance just would have been a better play outright. Oh well, I either get Solar Beamed here, or I get a free Rain Dance. I mean, like, yeah, I either lose Thundurus here. Okay, that still does a ton of damage. Jeez. Yeah, I get overheated. Great play by my opponent. So I'll lose Thundurus, but I'll get a free switch into Pelipper, which honestly might make this all worth it. But that could have played out a lot better had I just Rain Dance turn 1. Yeah, I was just, like, the fear of attacking with Swampert is obviously the Ferrothorn staying in and attacking. Ferrothorn might honestly cause me some problems right now. In fact, this is really bad now that I think about it. Could be. I do have Superpower on Swampert. I want to Surf here. I think I actually need to switch back out into Ferrothorn. Because I need to win this Weather War. Mega Evolve and Waterfall. Do I want to Superpower Charizard? Because I'm like confident Ferrothorn switching in that slot. I'd be at -2 though. No, yeah, I really should have Rain Dance turn 1 and protected. That just would have covered every option. So that was, I got really greedy. I just wanted the knockout on Ferrothorn. You'd imagine if my opponent had stayed in, I would have been in a really good spot too, but I can't complain too much about that. Okay, so Feeny comes in, so we know it's Feeny and Ferrothorn as my opponent's last two. Obviously we need the Ferrothorn. I'm just really angry because in retrospect, like, Thundurus is really good in this matchup. So I tried to get fancy with the Z move turn 1. It didn't work out. I mean, who expects Titanium Z, right? But also, like, my opponent just played it safe too. But it's just imagine if I Rain Dance, like, man, I would have been in a phenomenal position. So I got greedy, and in retrospect, I didn't really consider the safest play at the time, and I got punished for it, deservedly so. Okay, so I still got Rain up. I can knock off now. You gotta be worried, obviously, about Power Whip from Ferrothorn. I think I actually will knock off the Ferrothorn and protect, because I think Feeny here wants to switch out. Or protect. Feeny's going to protect or switch out. Yeah. Landorus. Oh, Charizard. Alright, that's fine. Actually, maybe it's not so fine, because I protected here. Yeah, I don't know about this one. I'm faster with my Ferrothorn. What item does it have? It's banded as well? Huh. See, the downside now is that you can just Power Whip Overheat Ferrothorn. If I got a double, that would put me in a phenomenal spot. Dang, I might actually need a double here. Oh, why didn't I just Rain Dance? Screw me for playing at like 2 in the morning. That's no excuse though. I think I need the double here. Because if I get it, I'm actually in a considerably good spot. And if I don't get it, like I can't beat the Feeny otherwise. Alright, let's hope I get it. Even if I get it... Oh man, Charizard switches out. I could have predicted that. So I actually didn't need it. Because now even if I get it, I'm not even in that good of a spot. Really good play by my opponent. I really wish I read into that and just made that crazy play of Power Whipping. Nice play. That was just my opponent not playing me. And I don't get it anyway. And Power Whip connects. It doesn't connect. Why do I jinx myself? Or I jinx my opponent there. Okay. That keeps this a little bit more interesting then, fellas. Keeps this very interesting, actually. In fact, that gives me a huge opportunity back into this game. The question is now, should I Tailwind? Does Ferrothorn switch out? That's the other question, because I could Hurricane Superpower that slot. I feel like I actually should Tailwind. And switch out. Yeah. Does Ferrothorn switch out, though? Because it could switch out into Charizard. I don't know about this. Actually, I think I just get Power Whip Moonblasted now since Ferrothorn stayed in. There's a Moonblast. Power Whip. Ooh, but it targets on Ferrothorn, and we know it's banded, or sorry, Spexed Feeny. That makes this all very interesting. Okay. So with that then, I'm actually just going to protect and Power Whip Feeny. Because it switched out earlier, so I am 100% confident that is Specs Feeny, because it also almost one-shot my Pelipper. So the miss keeping me in this game right now, but I'm really angry because I got super greedy that first turn. Okay, so Feeny switches out, back out into Charizard, okay. Shoot, maybe I should have Surfed. Because I don't think Surf knocks out now. I should have Surfed. Oh my gosh. How much does Band Power Whip do to Charizard? 40%? Not even. Oh, it doesn't even come close. Okay, I think I was kind of screwed anyway, more or less. Do I have any win condition here? I don't think so. Other than hoping for another Power Whip miss. What do you do here if you're my opponent? Solar Beam? Yeah, if you have Solar Beam, actually, yeah, Solar Beam Pelipper. Maybe if I crit Surf. I don't even think critting Surf would knock out Charizard, though. Yeah, I think I just lose. My opponent played really well, and I screwed up that turn 1 majorly. It would be interesting to play this again, knowing that the Ferrothorn is banded, which explains the switch out even more. Oh my gosh, I didn't do anything to Charizard. Yeah, it's just gonna Heat Wave. I had no play against Heat Wave Power Whip. Thundurus was way too important in this matchup. Thunderbolt against Charizard and Feeny, Rain Dance pressure, and Fight Z against Ferrothorn. So, fortunately, I finally featured Thundurus, but it just goes down to a really bad turn 1 play by me. I even had the Rain Dance. Yep, Protect Rain Dance makes just so much more sense in any way, shape, and form, because it's like, even if Ferrothorn stays in, I still get the Rain up, should Charizard Mega Evolve, and then I can at least switch out the next turn. I got really trigger happy, and I'm very angry at myself for allowing that to happen, because this could have been a very different game, honestly, if not. Like, yeah, I can't point to how big of a mistake that turn 1 was. So the miss, making it a little bit more interesting on Ferrothorn's end, but overall my opponent just playing better than me, and me getting very, very trigger happy with fighting Z. So yeah, that was just a poor use of the Z move. I was really hoping to dunk on the Ferrothorn, because, I mean, hindsight's 20/20, right? Because had Ferrothorn just stayed in, and, like, had Charizard Mega Evolved and overheated, and Ferrothorn just Power Whipped my Swampert, and I trade the Ferrothorn for Thundurus, then I'm actually in a really good spot, because I just get Pelipper in. But even though, like, that's the position I was playing for, and that's what I was thinking of, even if that happens, though, like, in retrospect, it's better just to keep Thundurus around, and there's no way my opponent's going to knock out my Thundurus unless you double up into it with, like, an Overheat and a Gyro Ball, which is highly unlikely. So, like, thinking about it in retrospect, especially now that I know it's Banded Ferrothorn, obviously, but, yeah, Rain Dancing just puts me up so much, because not only does Charizard not knock me out with Overheat, but it's also at -2, and the Rain is up, and I've got Mega Pert against the Ferrothorn, or sorry, against the Charizard. Let's at -2. Let's force the switch out and a Landers, and I've got the Ferrothorn in the back to deal with my opponent's Feeny. But I think my opponent played that really, really well. Even though my turn 1 play was really poor, even, like, I would have been in a really good spot, but I think the way my opponent, like, navigated that Charizard was, like, exactly how you should do it in that kind of matchup. So, yeah, obviously, like, I'm kind of disappointed in myself for the turn 1 play, but I think my opponent also, a lot of credit to him or her, because they played really well. So, really fun episode overall. I did kind of get wrecked overall that game, and that was me, you know, getting too happy with the fighting Z. I was just like, I just gotta go for it. I want to see a Thundurus knock out a Ferrothorn, but unfortunately it didn't happen. And I need to not be as reckless. I mean, once again, hindsight's 20/20, but I think Rain Dance is probably the better play in any situation there anyway, so I went for a suboptimal play probably, and that obviously cost me the game, and put me in a really bad start to begin with, but still a really fun game, and obviously I'm learning with this team. Not sticking with it for too long, but like I mentioned, I want to get a couple of episodes in just because I'm going to be gone for a couple of days, and then don't know exactly what my upload schedule is going to be like when I'm in Hong Kong. But yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed this one. I know I had a lot of fun. As always, if you did, please share support by leaving a like. Thank you guys for watching. Happy holidays, and I'll catch you guys next time. Alright, peace.